Hey, my loves, welcome to Inner Love Messages. I'm Sarah, and if you're new here, I'm so happy you found your way to this space. It's always a joy to have fresh energy join us. And to all of you who've been here before, welcome back. You know how much I love having you here. Tonight, we're diving into a no-contact message from your person. This message is meant to give you a sense of clarity around how they're feeling emotionally and mentally. It's about what's going on within them and what they want you to understand right now about themselves, about you, and about the connection you share. I'll be using this deck to help bring those messages through, so let's see what energy wants to come forward. The very first message I'm receiving is, there's so much going on behind the scenes. Now, when this card shows up, it usually points to a masculine energy that's dealing with a lot privately, while showing something totally different on the outside. But tonight, the energy around it feels a little different. This time, the message seems to be coming from a higher place, maybe even your higher selves reaching out. I'm picking up on a shared energy between you and your person. It feels like you're both navigating something internally, even if it looks like nothing's really happening from the outside. You may have recently gone through a kind of energetic release, and even if you haven't been actively focusing on the connection, I sense that both of you have been setting powerful intentions around it. It's almost as if you both sent out your desires into the universe at the same time, and what's fascinating is that you might have asked for the exact same things, or at least called in the same kind of guidance. That shared energy is really present here. Even though you've each been working on your own growth, maybe focusing on aligning with your higher self, healing, or simply raising your vibration, it feels like the real intention behind all of it has been to call in a higher love. A connection that's more aligned, more soulful, and more in tune with who you're becoming. What's beautiful is that you haven't been the only one wanting this. The person you're thinking about has been calling in the same things too, whether they realize it consciously or not. I can feel the presence of a higher power stepping in here, letting you know that your wishes, your prayers, and your manifestations are in motion. Things are shifting, even if you can't see it yet. Behind the curtain of the physical world, there's so much movement happening on a spiritual level. This energy feels incredibly strong. It's like the universe is saying, there's more going on than you know. And even though it may feel like things have been still or stuck for a while, the truth is, you and your person have been walking a shared path. Maybe not side by side in the physical, but absolutely connected energetically. Both of you have been going through internal shifts, each being guided towards something new, something higher. It seems like there was a time when things just weren't lining up, no matter how much you tried. Timing is a huge factor here. I get the feeling that both of you may have reached a breaking point, or more accurately, a surrender point. Even if you didn't consciously decide to let go, your hearts may have softened at the same moment, finally allowing the universe to step in. And that moment of release, of no longer trying to control the outcome, was deeply powerful. Energetically, it feels like you've both been clearing space, letting go of attachments or expectations. Maybe you were overthinking or trying to figure it all out, but then something shifted. There was this quiet decision to just trust, and that shift, even though it may have felt subtle, was huge. It created an opening. That opening is where the magic begins to work. That's where the higher energy can flow in, so if you're wondering what's happening behind the scenes, know that it's not silence or distance for no reason. There's transformation happening. There's alignment unfolding. The love you've asked for, the connection you've been trying to understand or heal is being guided towards something better. Not forced, not rushed, but truly aligned. Even though the physical reality might still feel quiet or uncertain, the spiritual realm is far from still. There's movement, there's preparation, and most of all, there's love, real, intentional love that's being cultivated on a soul level. You're both being led towards something new and meaningful, something that matches the energy of who you are now. Let yourself rest in that knowing. Let your heart soften into trust. Because even when it looks like nothing is happening, the universe is always listening, and it's working on something beautiful just for you. Here's a rephrased, more human-friendly version of your script with the same meaning and emotional tone without using bullet points or points. Even if it's not obvious on the surface, there's so much happening behind the scenes. This is a strong and clear message for the Divine Feminine. It's meant to reassure you that whatever or whoever you've been thinking about or seeking is also looking for you. If this message is meant for you, you'll feel it. Maybe you've noticed a recent shift in your energy or your mindset. You might feel unusually excited or restless, almost like something big is about to unfold. That feeling isn't random. It's a signal that something is stirring beneath the surface, and this time, the energy feels different. If you've gone from feeling uncertain to feeling more in tune or suddenly full of clarity and drive, then that's no coincidence. It's a powerful sign that a deep energetic recalibration is underway. As things unfold, there's a strong message coming through about your two worlds beginning to merge. The connection between you and the other person is becoming magnetic, like there's an undeniable pull drawing you closer together. If in the past, you felt a sense of disconnection or resistance that may have stemmed from an inner imbalance between your own masculine and feminine energies. Through the work you've done, whether that was manifesting, releasing old patterns, or doing deep inner healing, you were focused on understanding what was getting in the way of what you truly wanted in life and in love. But now, your energy has shifted. You've begun looking inward and getting really intentional about what you want your life to look like moving forward. That shift has activated something powerful. You've opened a spiritual gateway, and there's something divine orchestrating things in the background. You may have recently received a deeper understanding, uncovered a hidden truth, or felt like you've stumbled onto something meaningful without fully knowing how. This is because you've tapped into something sacred. Especially for the divine feminine, there's a clear movement happening from stillness into action. Your energy is picking up, and you're being gently guided into a place of balance where you can bring your inner vision to life in a grounded, tangible way. Before, there may have been a quieter or more introspective energy leading you, but now it feels like you're being nudged into motion. Your spiritual team is very present right now, helping you stay aligned and supporting this transition from contemplation into movement. The energy around you is working in your favor, helping you stay grounded and balanced as you move through these shifts. Both you and the person you're connected to are going through major changes. There's a strong link between what's happening to you on a spiritual level and what you're experiencing physically. For the masculine energy, there's been a phase of constant motion, action, and possibly even burnout. They may have been pushing themselves hard, but eventually, the body and soul call for rest. That pause is deeply necessary and brings with it a moment of inward reflection that is just as important as all the outward movement. During this time, even though you might not fully understand what the other is feeling or going through, you're both being led by something greater. There's a natural intuition pulling you in certain directions, even if you don't always know the reason behind it. For the divine feminine, you may have been deeply immersed in your spiritual practices, things like meditation, energy healing, or inner exploration. But now you might find yourself being drawn toward physical movement or tasks that help you feel present and embodied. That's part of the shift. It's grounding you, pulling you out of your thoughts and anchoring you in the now. Meanwhile, the divine masculine, who may have been overworking or constantly on the go, is entering a quieter, more reflective space. This is helping them reconnect with their intuition and inner truth. Both energies are evolving in their own ways, and even though the experiences may look different on the outside, the inner transformations are deeply connected. You don't need to understand it all just yet, and you don't need to rush it either. What matters most is trusting that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. There's a sense of preparation in the air, as if life is getting ready to bring something important into alignment for both of you. Even if you don't have all the answers yet, your spirit knows something big is coming. Let yourself be guided by that knowing and keep trusting the quiet shifts taking place beneath the surface. They're leading you somewhere beautiful. There are moments when certain things just feel right, even if they're hard to explain. You might not be able to logically sort through everything, but emotionally, it feels like you're exactly where you're meant to be. Your feelings are becoming your compass, quietly guiding you and confirming that you're walking in alignment with your soul's journey. This connection holds something very spiritual. The energy between you and this other person feels powerful, almost as if it's infused with a higher frequency. Something greater than both of you is clearly involved. There's a divine force at play, orchestrating things behind the scenes and reassuring you that the intentions and prayers you've sent out into the universe haven't gone unheard. Right now, massive changes are happening in the spiritual realm, shaping the reality that's starting to unfold. There's also a strong message coming through. Someone involved feels unable to truly open up to anyone else during this deeply transformative period. Maybe both of you are sensing that something big is happening, even if you can't fully put it into words. That mystery makes it feel intensely personal. There's an inner pull telling you to keep this experience private, at least for now. Your intuition is quietly insisting that this isn't something to be shared just yet. It feels like something sacred that needs to be protected while the universe works its magic, and you don't want to risk interfering with that sacred flow. Before diving into the full message, I just want to say, if you feel connected to this reading and appreciate the energy and effort that went into it, a super thanks would be such a beautiful way to give back. It would mean a lot. Back to the energy at hand. What surrounds this connection is intense. There's this strong protective feeling, like you've been spiritually nudged to keep certain parts of your journey to yourself, especially when it comes to your manifestations or your love life. It's not about secrecy in a negative way, it's more about honoring what feels holy. You know how rare and meaningful this bond is, and because of that, you've always carried it in your heart with a kind of quiet reverence. Lately, both of you are acting a little differently, with more caution and care, almost like you instinctively know you're guarding something incredibly precious. Normally, I'd focus on the divine masculine and what he's feeling for the divine feminine, but today, the energy between the two of you feels so mirrored. It's like you're vibrating on the same frequency. Even if your lives look completely different on the outside, what you're yearning for is also reaching out to you. Your spiritual paths, though not identical in the physical sense, are running parallel on a much deeper level. There's a strong message from a higher source that this connection is divinely guided, and both of your souls are being led by the same spiritual current. What's even more profound is the mutual sense that you can't just talk to anyone about this. There's an understanding between you two, unspoken yet so clear. This connection is sacred and isn't meant for the outside world to pick apart. There's something mysterious, even otherworldly, about the way you're being drawn together, and neither of you fully understands it. Still, you're being pulled down a path that feels both exciting and a little terrifying. But deep down, you know there's no turning back. This path is yours, and you're protecting it with everything you have. You're selective about who you let in, especially right now as your manifestations begin to bloom and things start to shift around you. It feels like you've been keeping this part of your life tucked away in a quiet corner of your heart. Maybe you haven't shared much with the people around you. It might even be that when you tried in the past, you weren't met with the understanding you needed. There's something about this journey, especially if it's a twin flame connection, that's hard for others to grasp. It's intense, it's filled with signs, synchronicities, even physical sensations that most people just don't experience. And when you tried to explain, it may have felt like no one truly heard you or believed you. In the beginning, maybe you were more open. Maybe you talked about the strange signs or the way you just knew something was different. But over time, this connection evolved into something too sacred to describe out loud. It became yours and yours alone, something between just the two of you, and now you're honoring it in the most heartfelt way by protecting it, by letting it grow in the quiet, by trusting the divine timing that's guiding everything forward. This connection between you, your higher power, and your person is something truly sacred. It's a spiritual bond that stretches far beyond what most people could ever begin to understand. Right now, it might feel like both of you are stepping into unfamiliar territory. There's a lot of uncertainty, and it's hard to know exactly where this path is taking you, but that feeling is completely normal when you're on a journey this spiritually deep. This isn't like anything you've ever experienced before. It's a different kind of love, one that defies explanation and comparison. And because of how delicate and profound it is, you might feel the need to protect it. You've probably felt guided not to speak openly about these experiences unless you're in a safe space, surrounded by people who truly get it. Right now, you're being extra careful, almost as if you can't bring yourself to talk about it with just anyone. And your person, your divine masculine, is feeling the same way. They're going through their own powerful internal awakening, sensing the weight and sacredness of what this connection really is. At this point, the divine feminine energy is deeply attuned to the spiritual nature of this bond. She's been navigating these waters for a while and understands what's unfolding on a soul level. The masculine energy, on the other hand, is just beginning to dip deeper into this spiritual space. Something in their life may have recently shifted, something that made them pause, reflect, and open up to the spiritual side of this connection. They're becoming more receptive to being guided by intuition, even if that's a little uncomfortable for them. It's not what they expected, but it's becoming an undeniable part of their path. There's a powerful flow of energy moving between you two right now, and it's causing some serious inner shifts. It may have felt like you both needed to let go of certain things to restore balance, to create space for something more aligned. Even when you're not consciously aware of it, your heart and soul are still guiding your journey. The higher power sees everything you feel and desire, and it's responding. Even if you try to suppress or ignore your true intentions, the universe hears them. Every thought, every feeling, Every wish you send out, whether you realize it or not, is being answered. The energy you're putting out there is coming from such a high vibrational place, and that's what's bringing your person closer to you. Even if what's happening in the physical world doesn't seem to reflect it, both of you are calling each other in. The phrase "what you're seeking is seeking you" keeps echoing loudly because it's real. You're both asking for the same thing. On a soul level, you're aligned. As this message continues to unfold, there's something very clear coming through. Signs are everywhere. The divine feminine is picking up on them constantly. There's this deep sacred language between you and your person, a way of communicating that goes far beyond words. It's more than just telepathy. It's as if you can connect to them at any time, no matter where they are or what's happening. It might sound a little out there, but it honestly feels like they're a part of you, like their energy lives inside you. There's a sense of spiritual merging happening, and it's powerful. You can hear their voice in your heart even when no one else can. It's incredibly private, incredibly intimate, and deeply real. Your higher self wants you to know that everything you're feeling and experiencing is valid. You're not imagining things. You're not going crazy. These sensations, these connections, they're all real. And even though you might question whether your person feels the same way, the energy says that they do. They're experiencing it too, but in their own way. The two of you are walking parallel paths that look different but are leading to the same place. What you're feeling in the spiritual dimension, the 5D, is often very different from what you see in your day-to-day life in the 3D world. But both realities are true in their own way. The signs you keep seeing, the synchronicities, the repeating numbers, the dreams, the songs, the sudden thoughts of them. None of that is random. These are not coincidences. They're sacred echoes of the deeper bond you share. They're reminders from the universe that this connection is alive, evolving, and divinely protected. It's all part of a bigger picture, one that goes beyond anything you can physically touch or logically explain. You and your person are blending your energies on both spiritual and physical levels. It's a fusion that's undeniable, and it's changing both of you from the inside out. The universe is speaking to you constantly, sending messages through feelings, images, and signs that strike something deep within. It's showing you the truth of what this is. Even if the world around you doesn't always reflect it yet, the bond between you and your person is very much alive, and it's being nurtured by something higher than either of you. This journey might feel intense, mysterious, or even overwhelming at times, but it's real, and it's unfolding exactly as it's meant to. The signs you're noticing aren't just visible through your physical eyes, they're felt deep within the essence of your soul. They come like quiet whispers, reminding you that your feelings, your intuition, your knowing are all real, valid, and sacred. Whether these signs appear through repeating numbers, powerful symbols, or perfectly timed moments of synchronicity, they hold deep meaning. They're not random. They're confirmations, beautiful, sacred nudges from the universe, especially for you as the divine feminine. These signs go beyond mere chance. They're a reflection of the connection between you and your person, a spiritual affirmation of the divine energy that links your souls. You sense it constantly, that subtle but undeniable feeling that the universe is speaking directly to you. Sometimes it's through a feeling, a dream, a coincidence so specific it feels like more than just a coincidence. It feels like a message meant just for you. And while you may wonder whether these signs are your own thoughts or if your person is somehow reaching out to you through them, the truth is that this experience is shared. It's not just you. Your person is feeling it too. The universe is gently weaving these signs between you, affirming that what you're sensing is mutual. Even if physical distance stands between you, the emotional and spiritual connection flows freely between your souls. This connection isn't always easy to explain. It's sacred, delicate, and perhaps something you've chosen to keep close to your heart because of how profound and personal it feels. There's something invisible but very real that binds you, a thread that no one else can see, yet you know it's there. It's not something that needs to be spoken out loud to be understood. You feel it in the quiet moments, when your heart suddenly fills with their energy, or when a wave of emotion washes over you seemingly out of nowhere. Sometimes, you just know, they're thinking of you at the very same moment you're thinking of them. And in that moment, even without words, you're connected. What you're feeling isn't imagined. It's energetic, telepathic, soul deep. It's a kind of communication that doesn't rely on language but rather on dreams shared in sleep, sparks of inspiration that appear out of nowhere, or that overwhelming sense that they're with you, even when they're not physically present. The bond you share exists far beyond the realm of what can be seen. It lives in the higher realms, in the spiritual dimension where energy flows freely, and that energy is moving strongly right now. There is a powerful current supporting your connection, lifting it higher, helping you both to grow in ways that deepen your understanding of each other. Even when you're uncertain about what's next or how it's all going to unfold, the universe continues to send little winks and nods, reminding you that what you feel is real. The signs are always there if you're open to receiving them. They're guiding you, not just toward your person, but also deeper into your own healing and transformation. Because as you grow, so does the energy between you. Every step you take individually somehow brings you closer together. This message won't speak to everyone, but for those who feel it in their bones, it's not just words, it's confirmation. You're not alone in this. Your person feels it too. Their journey reflects yours in ways you may not even realize. The signs, the synchronicities, the deep emotional pull, they're not one-sided. The connection you share is not of this world. It's something far more profound, intricately woven into the very fabric of the universe, something that defies logic and explanation but makes perfect sense to your heart. So let yourself trust this. Let yourself believe in the quiet magic that surrounds you both. You're being guided by a love that's bigger than any obstacle, a love that's sacred, timeless, and divinely protected. This energy is not fleeting. It's consistent, supportive, and filled with purpose. Every sign, every moment of clarity, every time you feel them close is part of a larger tapestry being gently unraveled by the universe itself. Maybe lately you've been feeling their presence more than ever, like they're all around you. The signs seem to be everywhere, leading you back to them, again and again, as if the universe is creating a path paved with meaning and connection. And this isn't just in your imagination. What you're experiencing is real. It's the energy of manifestation beginning to take form. Something beautiful is unfolding before your very eyes, and it's coming from both of you. Together, whether consciously or unconsciously, you've activated something powerful within this bond. The universe has felt that energy, and it's responding. The very air around you seems to shimmer with possibility, vibrating with the frequency of your desires beginning to materialize. You're not just imagining progress, you're living it. What you've been longing for is beginning to take shape in the physical world. This connection, so full of light, soul, and spirit, is moving, it's evolving, and it's all happening in perfect divine timing. Let yourself trust in that. Let yourself soften into the knowing that love like this doesn't just appear without meaning. This is the kind of connection that transforms you, not just because of the other person, but because of who you become in the process of loving and being loved this deeply. The signs aren't just signs, they are love letters from the universe written in synchronicities, moments of clarity, and the quiet certainty that something sacred is guiding it all. Here's a rephrased version of your entire script, keeping the same meaning but flowing in a more human, natural tone, smooth, heartfelt, and without using any points or lists. There's an almost magnetic energy surrounding this connection, something that clearly signals you're both standing at the edge of something deeply meaningful. And before we go any further, if you feel drawn to be a part of our little circle, a place filled with love and understanding, make sure you tap that join button and subscribe. We'd love to have you in this space with us. Now, the depth of this connection can be a lot to carry sometimes. It might leave you feeling emotionally exhausted, wrapped up in thoughts of them, and unable to break free from the gravity of their presence. That's completely understandable, given how intense this energetic pull is. But right now, divine, feminine, you're being asked to take this powerful energy and channel it in a way that supports your growth rather than overwhelms you. Instead of letting it consume you, use it as inspiration. Let it move through your body with a workout, through your soul on a walk through nature, or through your heart in something creative. This isn't just about restoring your balance, it's about stepping into your higher self, aligning with the path the universe has carved out for you. There are some massive energetic shifts unfolding within you, and the more you bring this energy down to earth, the more gracefully you'll be able to move through everything that's changing inside. At the same time, the divine masculine is feeling this shift just as intensely, though in a slightly different way. They've probably been pushing themselves harder than they should, maybe trying to control everything, charging ahead at full speed without giving themselves a moment to breathe. It might have led them to a breaking point, a kind of internal burnout. But this isn't the end for them. It's actually a moment of guidance. Life is gently asking them to pause, to rest, to reflect. That silence they're being pulled into isn't weakness at all. It's where truth and clarity live. Just like you're learning to move that energy outward into creativity and expression, they're being asked to turn inward, to embrace stillness and rediscover their own inner wisdom. In the midst of all this, you may find yourself bouncing between hope and doubt. One moment you feel light and lifted, the next you find yourself in the heaviness of fear or uncertainty. That's okay. It's natural to be afraid of the unknown. After all, you're stepping into something so much larger than what you've known before. The uncertainty might feel like a storm sometimes, but it's not here to stop you. It's part of the journey. It's how you know you're growing, evolving, stepping out of the familiar and into a new chapter that hasn't yet revealed itself. It's not easy, but that uncertainty is actually a sign that you're moving closer to something real and significant. The divine masculine, in his own way, is facing this same uncertainty. If he allowed himself to be truly vulnerable, he'd probably admit that he doesn't have it all figured out either. He's questioning things, unsure about what the future looks like or how to move forward. There may be moments where he feels insecure, unsure of whether things will come together the way he hopes. But even with all of that swirling inside him, there's one thing he doesn't question: you. His heart knows the truth of your connection. Even if the road ahead isn't fully visible, even if all the steps aren't laid out, he knows that what you share is real. That knowing is what grounds him when everything else feels chaotic. So even if he can't predict how it's all going to happen, he's beginning to let go of control. He's learning to surrender, to trust that what's meant to unfold will do so at the right time. He's starting to accept that timing isn't something he can force, it's something sacred, something divine. He might still feel the pull of uncertainty, but he's leaning into faith. He's starting to trust the process, just like you are being asked to do. It's all unfolding as it should. There's a quiet, undeniable transformation happening right now, something that goes far beyond circumstances or logic. This is something spiritual, something beautifully orchestrated by a higher intelligence. You're both being pulled toward each other by a current that doesn't need to be seen to be understood. You're feeling it in the quiet moments, in the unexpected signs, in the unshakable sense that this isn't random. These little nudges, the intuitive whispers, they're not coincidences. They're guiding you toward exactly where you need to be. And the most beautiful part is that you're both feeling this. It's not just one person growing or awakening, it's both of you, simultaneously and unknowingly aligning. This connection isn't just a chance meeting, it's not luck. It's not coincidence. There's something bigger happening here. A force beyond both of you is weaving your paths together, making sure you meet at just the right time, in just the right way. This divine guidance may be invisible, but it's real. You feel it. It's not just about logic or reason. It's about a soul-level alignment that's only possible when both people are ready. Looking back, there were times when this connection felt powerful but also chaotic. The energy between you might have felt off balance, with one of you being more open and the other pulling back. You may have felt magnetized toward each other one moment and then pushed apart the next. It could have felt like you were being pulled in opposite directions, unsure if things could ever really work. There may have even been moments when it seemed like it just wasn't meant to be. But all of that was part of the growth. It was never meant to be easy. That turbulence was simply the energy working itself out, shifting and settling into something more stable as you both healed and evolved. What's happening now is different. You're both stepping into a new rhythm, a more peaceful flow. The chaos is fading, and what remains is a deeper harmony. When you do come together again, and you will, it's going to feel like a powerful surge of energy. But this time, it won't be overwhelming or unbalanced. It'll be rooted in something higher, something grounded in mutual growth and understanding. The connection will still be intense, but it will carry a new energy, one of balance, clarity, and readiness. You're shedding the old layers of fear and doubt, making room for something new and beautiful to take shape. This entire journey has been a mirror for the inner work both of you are doing. The shadow work, the healing, the self-reflection, it's all been leading to this. There have been moments of confusion where you thought you had it all figured out, only for the fog to roll back in and blur the path again, and yet, deep down, you know there's purpose in all of it. Even when you've questioned everything, even when it hurt, you kept moving forward. That's not a small thing. That's strength. You've had to face uncomfortable truths about yourselves and each other, and you didn't run. You stayed. You grew. And that's changed everything. Because of that, you're entering a space of surrender. You've done everything you could to make sense of it all, to hold it together. to move things along. But now it's time to release control, to trust in something bigger than your own plans, to believe that the universe knows what it's doing, that your higher self has always been guiding you, that the divine has a timing all its own. And as hard as it may be to let go, that surrender is what will finally set everything in motion, not because you forced it, but because you allowed it, because you trusted the path, even when you couldn't see where it was leading. This is the sacred unfolding of something truly divine. And even though the destination isn't fully clear, the direction is. You're not lost. You're being guided, every step of the way. And all you have to do now is keep walking, open-hearted, grounded, and trusting that everything is coming together exactly as it should. The fears you feel aren't without reason. They come from a deep place within your soul that knows the path you're walking was always meant for you. Even when uncertainty creeps in or when doubts rise about whether things will truly align, there's a part of you that understands you're exactly where you need to be. It might not always be obvious and the road may be filled with unknowns, but there's a quiet knowing in both of you that this is your path. What strengthens you now is faith in the process. This isn't about giving up, it's about surrendering in a way that honors the flow of life. It's about trusting that you're being led, step by step, to where you're truly meant to go. Right now, there's a message coming through. My access to you is being restricted. At first glance, this might feel like a setback or some sort of obstacle. But if you look deeper, it's not really about being kept apart. It's about a shift in how the two of you are meant to connect. This restriction isn't punishment or separation. It's a realignment of your energies. Both of you have been activated, stirred awake in a sense, and this awakening is pushing you toward a higher path. The way you used to connect simply doesn't fit anymore. The old energies, those built on fear, doubt, or ego, no longer have a place here. Now this connection must grow from a place of love, truth, and authenticity. This isn't just a small change. It's a full transformation, and it touches both of you in deeply personal ways. As the shift takes place, it feels like you're being invited into a higher calling. It's something that's been waiting for both of you to step into. Not fleeting, not temporary, but powerful and full of meaning. You're aligning with your highest selves and opening the door to your divine potential in ways you may never have accessed before. And the key to all of it is inner focus. It's not about forcing the connection to move faster or trying to control how things unfold. It's about healing, being honest with yourselves, and letting things evolve naturally as you both become the people you were always meant to be. There's something stirring just beneath the surface, something that's hard to explain with words but deeply felt by both of you. There's an unspoken connection, a quiet knowing, that doesn't need to be verbalized to be real. Even if you haven't said the words aloud, there's a shared understanding that hangs in the air. Spiritually, things might be lining up in a beautiful way, but the physical world can often feel like it's out of sync with that energy. Sometimes it's like life is moving in one direction while your heart is pulling you in another. That mismatch can be confusing, even frustrating, but in those moments, lean into your intuition, let your inner voice guide you. You'll start to notice the signs, the little synchronicities, the subtle nudges that all reassure you. You're not lost. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. These signs aren't just random moments. They're powerful reminders that you're walking the path towards your highest timeline, the one full of possibility, growth, and love. Even if you don't always see it clearly, know that this journey is unfolding just as it should. Both of you are on it together. Whether or not you're consciously aware of it every step of the way, your energies are connected, moving together, growing together, and with each new phase, you're getting closer to the purpose you're meant to fulfill. Keep trusting. Keep listening. This is a sacred unfolding, and every moment, no matter how uncertain, is guiding you toward alignment. There's a depth to this message that goes beyond the words on the surface. I feel like it's something that might strike a chord in you, something that resonates in a way you may not be able to fully explain. Maybe you've been noticing certain patterns, people appearing at just the right time, conversations that feel like they were meant to happen, or moments where everything seems to connect in an uncanny way. These aren't coincidences. They're gentle clues that life is weaving something bigger than what's immediately visible. You might not always understand the full scope of what's happening, but there is a greater force at play, something beyond what we can see with the naked eye. Whether you call it the universe, divine timing, or something else entirely, it's clear that something meaningful is guiding your steps. And while the physical world might present a certain picture, that doesn't always reflect the deeper truth. Sometimes what's visible is just a distraction, a cover for something more sacred taking shape behind the scenes. That's why it's so important to pay attention to what's happening beyond what the eyes can see. The signs and synchronicities are there to help you stay aligned. They're not just curious little moments, they're invitations to trust in something more. Whether this is about your own personal growth, a special connection, or the way your path is unfolding, the message is the same. You're not alone, and you're not off track. There's a divine rhythm to it all, a spiritual map unfolding in ways you might not yet fully understand, but can still feel. That inner pull, that gentle nudge toward something more, is real, and it's leading you toward connection, toward healing, toward something more expansive and fulfilling than you've known before. So as you continue moving through these moments, stay open, pay attention. Don't rely solely on what's in front of you, because the truth often lives in the in-between spaces, in the whispers, in the pauses, in the feelings that linger even when nothing has been said. You are being led, whether you realize it or not, and every step is a part of something greater than what appears on the surface. It may not always be clear, but it is always purposeful. And just to share a little from my side, I didn't expect this message to go in the direction it did, but sometimes that's just how energy works. It moves us where we need to go. If this message resonates with you, or if you find comfort or insight in it, supporting this channel through a super thanks really does help us continue bringing these kinds of heartfelt messages your way. And if you haven't already, feel free to subscribe so you won't miss future updates. Your presence and support mean the world to us, and we're so grateful for each of you walking this journey with us.